Joining us now is filmmaker, entrepreneur Raphael Shore. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
You are the producer of, first of all, the name of the movie.
Tragic Awakening, a new look at the oldest hatred.
Now an author of an important book called?
Brand new book called Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Jew? Learning to Love the Lessons of Jew Hatred.
So we're talking a lot about hatred, anti-Semitism, but also, of course, in wake of October 7th. Tell us, first of all, about the movie.
Well, the movie, it was produced together with a great organization called ARUTZ that does a lot of wonderful work in Israel revolving around the core values of the Jewish people. But after October 7th, everybody's wondering why. Why the Jews? What is it about the Jewish people that drives such passionate, intense hatred?
Our sages say, Esav soneh Yaakov, they'll always hate us.
Yes, but why? Right? So the how, many people have a grasp on the how. This book goes into the why, and the film goes into the why. And it's based on years of research that I've done about anti-Semites, looking in through the eyes of anti-Semites and seeing what they believe. And it turns out, if you understand Adolf Hitler, may his name be erased, and other anti-Semites, that they really do understand who we are, and that's what bothers them.
And some would say it's dangerous. It's dangerous trying to rationalize the hate. It's dangerous trying to explain the hate. Maybe, one would say, someone will see it and then say, you know what? Maybe I will hate as well. Were you afraid with that?
Not at all. I think they hate out of primarily ignorance, but I believe that when people understand what the world is about, what humanity is about, and what the Jewish people's role in our global challenge, they will come to understand we have a place, we have a role to play. It's not coming from arrogance that would cause more anti-Semitism. They hate us, they hate us. But if they understand us, I think we'll end up being a more tolerant place.
So there's the hate, but then comes the murder, the rape, the brutality. How do you look at that? You know, there's one thing to hate, and there's another thing to act like we saw in the Holocaust and we saw on October 7th.
Well, it's been a continuum. This is nothing new. A lot of people felt October 7th was new, and that's only because they forgot about everything else in our history. But there's nothing new. It's happened over and over and over again. We would like to forget. We would like to think that it's no longer there, but we're delusional about that. As long as the Jewish people are bringing a deep spiritual message and challenge to the world, which is our mission, then there's going to be resistance. That resistance is anti-Semitism. That resistance to our message and our spiritual calling and Sinai is the message of the Jewish people, and it is what people react to, and it bothers them deeply, which is why it turns into genocidal hatred too often.
Now, a few words about the field of video as a filmmaker. We're seeing, of course, for example, the documentations coming from October 7th that were filmed by the terrorists. We're seeing the social media, how much the world of video is important, but also how much it's more challenging, because you can't go ahead and put together a whole movie like you did. You have to right away have your 30-second answer, TikTok style. So where do you balance that when you try to think, I want to present a case through video?
Well, I'm also I founded an organization called Open Door Media, we're the largest YouTube channel on YouTube called Unpacked. And we have hundreds of videos. So I know that today, if you want to reach people, you have to have short pieces of information on the platforms that young people go to. So we're doing podcasts, or Twitter, all those things. However, sometimes people want to engage and get a deeper understanding of issues. So therefore, I think there's still a place for books and full-length videos.
So, on a personal level, writing such a book, producing such a film, it must be depressing. What gives you strength, optimism?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was saying, this book is very hard, and the film is very hard for me to describe what it's all about. Because when people hear it's a film about anti-Semitism, they think, okay, depressing, difficult. My entire purpose for writing this book and producing this film was to be inspirational. To me, I get tremendous inspiration. Thus the name, Learning to Love the Lessons of Jew Hatred. If we understand what it's about, we can gain tremendous strength, moral self-confidence and inspiration.
You're saying if we understand why they hate us, we'll love ourselves?
Exactly.
Challenging. Raphael Shore, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.